Would you spend $150,000 on a watch? Well, I did, so you didn't have to. Just kidding. I'm not wealthy, so I would never spend that much money on a watch. Never say never. If I was Elon Musk or I had $100 million in the bank, maybe I would, but I would never spend today, because I'm middle class, $150,000 on a watch. So I bought something like that for $350. So today we are looking at this, a Richard Mille Homage. Specifically, this is the Oblvlo. I'll leave it up to you to decide. Now, I got this watch on Amazon. This is a watch purchased by me. I really love the Tourneau style watch cases, but I just don't have $150,000 to spend on a Richard Mille, and I don't have $80,000 to spend on a Oblvlo. That is really just a waste of money that has also a Tourneau style case shape. That's one of the reasons why when a Venti first came out, they were different, they were unique, they had these awesome case shapes, and they were more affordable for the everyday person. That's what this channel is. This channel is for the everyday person. If you're here looking for a luxury watch review, well, maybe in the future, but today is not that. Now, I'm not someone who is a snob against luxury watches. I myself own a Rolex Hulk and a Rolex Kermit. Those are the two most expensive watches I own, but they were both bought over a decade ago at retail at an authorized dealer. Now, I would never get rid of them today because I could never afford them again in the future, especially with the watch premiums going like they are. Now, even though the market is falling off of a cliff right now, slowly tapering off of that cliff, things are getting much cheaper, especially in this economy of major inflation. Not a whole lot of people are spending money, so the watch market is going down. That being said, the average watch goer may love a Richard Mille, but can't afford the price point. Nobody's willing to get a second mortgage on their home to put a watch on the wrist. So I'm bringing you this today. This specifically is the Oblvlo, Oblvlo, I don't know. Anyway, Feast also makes a similar watch, and I have a Feast watch on the desk right now that is green. That will be a watch that I review in the future. So let's talk about this watch that I have in my hand right now. So this watch specifically is a stainless steel Tourneau style case with a carbon fiber bezel that goes over it. Now, the entire watch is not carbon fiber. I did do a review on a Feast watch back in the day that it was an entire carbon fiber case, but I like the fact that it did a mixture of stainless steel and carbon fiber. Even a lot of people in the watch world will tell you that a carbon fiber case, a ceramic case, this stuff may be really cool, but they really don't hold up to everyday wear and tear. If I chip a carbon case, there's almost no way to repair it. It's not like I can buff it out. So it's nice that they use something like stainless steel as the main case for this watch with just a carbon fiber bezel or an overlay to the face of the watch. For a $350 watch that you pick up on Amazon, the case is not that great, but it is still better than what most would expect, especially when basically you're spending all your money in the watch itself. Now, this watch is a beautiful red, and I chose the red because I also have that Feast green watch that I will be doing a comparison on this. So I figured red, green. You guys know that I did a review on the Wish Do It, which is stainless steel. So I figure I might as well give you guys some different options when it comes to picking your Homage for your Tourneau case if you like that kind of thing. So let's go over the diameter of this watch, the dimensions, and what comes with this watch, why you should get it, why you shouldn't get it, the pros and cons. Let's just go over it all. So like I said, this is a solid stainless steel Tourneau shaped case. The case measurements on this is 42 by 50 millimeters. So actually it doesn't fit very large on the wrist. 42 millimeters in diameter by 50 millimeters long. You know, normally that is a a basic style watch size for a 42 millimeter watch. If I had a 42 millimeter case diameter, that would be the width, or if it was a round, it would be diameter of the round, but the lug to lug normally is 49 to 52, so this is right in that sweet spot, so it's not gonna wear too large on the wrist. And this thing is 14 millimeters thick, but even though it's 14 millimeters, you can see that it's massively curved with its integrated rubber strap. Now this makes it a lot more comfortable to wear on the wrist, and it does have quite a presence on the wrist, but that's kind of the nature of wearing a watch like this. If you're going to wear a carbon fiber inlaid red watch, you'd expect people to look down at your wrist. It doesn't need to slip secretly underneath your cuff like a Submariner. It's there for presence, but that being said, 14 millimeters on this watch may seem thick, but it's really not when you're wearing it on the wrist. It doesn't really seem that thick at all. And in fact, this watch is only 135 grams, which is a little bulky, but you really don't feel the weight on the wrist like you'd think. Now it says that it's 22 millimeter lug size. This is an integrated strap, so there is no changing the strap. Now you can see on the back there are spring bars, but you know, likelihood of actually finding a strap that fits this is going to be, you know, very, very hard. So you kind of get what you get when it comes to watches like this. It's going to be the same with the Feast. It's the same with the Wish Do It. Any of these Homage do a Richard Mille or an Oblvlo with an integrated strap. There is no changing the strap. Now you could reach out to the watch company themselves and see if you can get a replacement strap. And as long as it's the exact same curved strap, then you should be able to interchange them, because you know it's not like built into it. Again, you can see the spring bars at the back, so you should be able to replace it with one of their stock straps. The watch is extremely curved, and it does have a curved sapphire crystal on the front and a flat crystal on the back. One of the things I really love about this watch shape is the curvature of the case with that sapphire crystal. I'm glad they use sapphire crystal, especially when it comes to a watch that's over $300. In today's watch world at 2023, everything should basically have a sapphire crystal because they're really not very expensive. This is not the old days of 1999 or 2002 where it may be a little more expensive to get a sapphire crystal or a synthetic sapphire crystal. It's really not expensive anymore. The difference between a mineral crystal and a sapphire crystal, if we're just talking about flat crystals, is the cost difference of about $5. So if it's a curved sapphire crystal, we're talking about the cost difference of maybe $25. And most people would rather pay the $25 extra to get something that's scratch resistant as opposed to something that's going to scratch up. So it's nice to see that this does have a sapphire crystal. The dial on this is a skeleton dial, black around the outside, and it does have some loomed sort of, this is called the hourglass. So you can kind of see the loomed along the inside that sweep from the 1 o'clock down to the 5 o'clock and then the 11 o'clock down to the 7 o'clock. That does, in the darkness, offer, you know, an hourglass look. Not sure if that's exactly what they were going for, but it is called the hourglass watch, so they're sticking with that theme. This is, again, skeletonized, and you can see directly through that rear case back, so you can see your wrist as you're wearing this watch, or if I'm holding it up, you can see the top of my desk. It is cool that they do use an automatic movement in this watch. There isn't specifics for the automatic movement. They say it's a Miyota, but there is no specifics. I've reached out and I've looked everywhere, and all I get is it's a Miyota automatic movement. I assume it's a baseline Miyota movement, and it probably offers the same as everything else, 21,600 vibrations an hour, probably about 40 hours of power reserve, anywhere from 38 to 42 hours of power reserve. It is hacking, it is hand winding. So again, take everything I say with a grain of salt because I'm just not sure. They do have sort of a faux skeleton dial on the front, but not on the rear. Now we saw this with the Feast that I did a couple years ago, where they put like this plate on the front of the watch that mimicked gearing in the watch. They do this a little bit on the front, but none on the back. This is an automatic movement, and you can see that when I wind the watch, you can see the gears, the barrel spring, and everything moving on the back as I wind the watch. You can also see that it has an open heart style because it is a skeleton, and you can see that balance wheel flickering back and forth at the 6 o'clock position. This is nice to see because, again, you know that it's an automatic watch. It offers a little more depth to the dial, and this is not a thin watch, so they definitely have a lot of room to work inside of that case. Don't think it was necessary to do like a faux dial on the front that makes it seem more of an automatic movement. I have seen watches from the same watch company on Amazon that offer $1,700 for the same style of watch, except it's a tourbillon, and it's a complete skeletonized tourbillon, so you can see everything inside of it. They didn't do anything faux at all, so I don't understand why they didn't do something similar to this. Maybe because the automatic Miyota movements aren't really pretty, so it's better just to do a couple faux gears on the front side, so it gives it a better aesthetic. So I kind of understand that. I just don't think it's necessary. They could have used a different automatic movement. I have looked at a lot of automatic movements lately, and they can pick and choose, but it seems like a lot of these watch companies are just grabbing off-the-shelf movements and tossing them in watches. The movement is an afterthought as opposed to everything else. So they're just like, grab a movement off the shelf and toss it in the watch. It's an automatic movement, and everybody can just kind of get over it. That's just the feeling I have. This watch does offer 50 meters of water resistance, and it is very comfortable on the wrist. It really is. This gives you the feel of a more expensive watch. A lot of people made complaints in the Feast review I did a couple years ago, where they kind of made fun of the fact that someone would buy a watch that is an homage to a $100,000 or $200,000 watch. Me, I don't really care what you buy and what you spend your money on. You can go spend your money on a $150 movement watch or a $200 Vincero watch if you want, or you can go buy a really cool Seiko, or you can buy a really cool Rolex if you want. Not everybody has the money to throw into a very, very, very expensive watch. Really, we're talking about the 1% of people in the world are able to afford these watches, and everybody else kind of falls between that middle ground of that middle income, especially here in the US, in the UK, in Europe. A lot of people don't have a bunch of money, and most people aren't able to buy a watch over $300, let alone over $1,000. So I try to bring you guys affordable alternatives on this channel. You can choose to take them or choose not to take them. You can make fun of the fact that someone would wear a Richard Mille Homage. I love this watch. This watch is extremely comfortable on the wrist, and generally in middle class, nobody knows what a Richard Mille is. They just think it's a cool looking watch. Now, would I wear this in Las Vegas? Probably not, because somebody may think that I have a Richard Mille on my wrist and then beat the crap out of me and rob me and take my $350, $400 watch. Well, anyways, let me know what you guys think about this watch. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you like the idea of homage watches? A lot of people say there's a gray area. I was just watching Ben's Watch Club, and I've been a subscriber of Ben Arthur since he had his other channel years and years back when he did styling, and then he did Ben's Watch Club, and he talked about homage watches versus replica watches. Well, this is an homage watch, right? This is not a replica watch. It gets its styling cues based on a Richard Mille. And the green one that I have that's on my desk to review is an homage to an RM. I think it's a 57 or 67. It's the green, and it looks really awesome. It really does look like a cool looking watch, but could I ever afford a $300,000 watch? No, I could never. And even if I could, like I said, I would rather buy an awesome car than I would, or multiple awesome cars than I would that type of wrist watch. Just, it's not obtainable to most people. So we're gonna do comparisons to a few of these RM homages here in the next couple weeks. I will do a cost comparison of the quartz, a comparison to this automatic, and a comparison to the green RM from Feast. FM is what they call it, from Feast, because the difference is one's a $250 watch, one's a $350 watch, and the other one is a $650 watch. So we'll be comparing these high-end Homages here in the future. Now, this watch is going to be one of the watches I sell down below. I'm not going to sell it for a while. I'll let you guys know in the video, the comparison video, but look out for this one. Link down in the description. I will leave an Amazon link, not affiliated with Amazon, and I will leave a link to watches I've reviewed on my eBay channel or on my eBay account, because what I do is I'll buy these watches, I'll do some reviews on the watches, I'll get some content out of it, and then I'll sell it for you guys at a massive discount. If this thing was $350, it'll be well under $250 on eBay. So if you guys really are interested, keep a lookout for those. Now, do one of three things that I've always asked you guys to do. Let's go ahead and grow this channel. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment on the content you guys want to see on this channel. I'm releasing full videos every 3 to 4 days when it comes to review videos. And I will be doing shorts every single day, at least for the next 30 to 60 days. I really want to test out that algorithm and see if we can grow this channel, because when this channel hits 10,000 subscribers, I will be doing a giveaway on the Exciton watch from JF Watches. Really, really, really awesome watch designed for the watch lover. I bought that with my own money, and I love the fact that I'm able to give it away to one of you guys. Make sure you guys are leaving a comment of the content you guys want to see on this channel. I have a lot of stuff coming up in the future. I have a holster video coming up in the future from Better Holsters. I have a lot of dive stuff coming up, and I have so much watch stuff here that I almost can't even keep up with it all. But most of it, if it's under $150 and it's given to me for free, I will give it away to you guys in 2023. This is the year of giving. But make sure you guys are also hitting that notification bell so you can be notified when I drop these videos. Until next time.